Amazing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the third session of MicroStrategy Connect. We're so excited to have you here. If you haven't watched the previous Connect sessions, this is our live series. We go behind the scenes with teams across MicroStrategy. So we've talked to tech, education, UX, and we really just work to get the exclusive on all things product. So get ready. We're excited. We've had a lot of fun in the previous sessions, and I'm pumped for today because I'm back with product management. They're known for being a really fun group, so it's going to be an exciting day. But if you have any questions throughout the session, ask them in the chat. We're going to answer them at the end, I promise. But let's get started with some introductions. So I'll start, and then I'm going to hand it over to PM. I'm Holly Stevens. I started out on our product management team, ran library, a lot of the end user experience, and now I'm on product marketing. So I get to work a lot with the PM team as well as the more creative space, which is what we're doing today. And then I'll kick it to you guys. So Alex, you want to start us off?
Hello, Holly, and hello, everybody. Yeah, my name is Alex Olvera, and I am the product manager for the applications part of the product.
Love it.
Well, my name is Erika Moreno, and I'm the product manager for everything related to Workstation.
My name is Ananya Ojha, and I'm product manager for enterprise analytics.
Got it. You guys aren't giving yourselves enough credit either. They are like running around building a ton of different things all the time, working with our engineers. It's really awesome. So in Connect, we always kick things off with a little lightning round, right? So before we get into the good stuff, we ask you guys a few fun questions. So to start, what is your favorite city to travel to and why? I'm going to start with Erika.
Well, I have two. One is Rome. I really like how wherever you turn your head is like history and you can see a lot of things. And the second one is Mexico City, of course, because you have so many things to do. You have amazing food from all over the world. So I love it.
I agree with that.
Alex,
me,
what are your, or Ananya, go.
For me, I mean, Tokyo is one on my bucket list of places to visit. But for the places I've already been to, Reykjavik in Iceland would be one because of just the serenity that I have around there experiencing. So,
Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
You stole one from me. Definitely Tokyo. It's so when I go back, but Japan is not open yet. Well, it is open, but I think you have to have a tour. You have to stick to your tour guide the whole time. So, but that's definitely want to go back. And London.
Nice. Yeah, all good options once we can get to traveling. All right, what is your favorite show that you're currently watching right now? So Netflix, Hulu, whatever it might be. Alex, you want to start on this one?
All right.
Yeah.
It's not such a good show, honestly, but it's enjoyable. You don't have to think too much. So good for a Sunday, you know. It's called Manifest. Good plot. Maybe you've seen it. I think it's been out for a while, but I just discovered it recently. So
yeah, I watch it. For me, I'm watching the second season of the morning show. I actually in the previous Connect, I just finished the first season, and I'm on to the second season.
You've made it.
And I'm spending time with my daughter watching PJ Masks.
Nice.
Which one is your favorite?
Owlet.
Good. Mine is Gecko.
Oh, nice.
All right. Favorite restaurant of all time. So it can be in the US or anywhere. I know it's a tough question.
Who wants to go?
You go.
I go? Oh man, it has to be a taco stand in Mexico City. Well, it used to be a taco stand. Now it's actually a restaurant. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Good. I don't know. That's a complicated question for me, to be honest. Like I love a lot of types of food, so I don't have a specific favorite one. But one of my favorite ones is Tiki Thai, that is in Reston, Virginia.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, it's a tie between sort of Rasika in DC and Mama Chang that is close to where I live.
Nice. Awesome. Good answers. All right. iPhone or Android? Ananya, let's start with you.
For me, I don't trust either ecosystem to have all of my information. So I switch between them every 5 years.
Nice. Okay.
That way nobody has the full picture, right?
Of
That's
me,
smart.
yeah.
That's good. I'm iPhone, and it's just because of the simplicity that I have like everything on the iOS. But
Yeah, no, I like Android, but I'm an iPhone person for now.
Okay. And then lastly, before we get into the technology, describe MicroStrategy in 3 words.
Ooh, who's first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So scalable, enterprise, and intelligent.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Good ones.
I would say flexible, agile, and friendly.
Nice.
Powerful, easy, with potential. That's 2 words, but potential.
Love it. I think those are awesome. I always think it's interesting to see how people, a lot of it's always like overlapped, the adjectives that we use. So those are all good ones. All right. So getting into what everyone's been waiting for, the technology, the session's going to be focused on all the new features for June. And it just went GA yesterday officially. So you guys are getting the insights right now. You'll hear it first here. So let's get right into it. Transactions. We know people have been waiting for them. They're here for Dossier now, a total game changer. We know a lot of you have been waiting to actually make the move from documents right to dossiers because of transactions. So Erika, can you tell us a little bit about this new feature?
Yes, thank you, Holly. So we're really, really excited about transactions because it removes the whole complexity of the old transactions. You can have these transactions with write back functionality, and it's very, very easy to configure. That's the most important part because you can easily select a data source or a table where you want to store your data. You can map your columns from the grid to the table. You can even if you're like a more seasoned and experienced user, you can switch to the SQL, and then you can specify the different types. You can insert, delete, or update, and the only thing that you will have to do is specify the data types that you want to apply, and then how you want to display them in the grid. And then another very, very cool functionality that we have is the ability to pause a transaction. So if for some reason you're doing some maintenance to your table in the warehouse, you can pause the transaction and then enable it again, but you won't lose any of that functionality that you already put in place.
So no more jumping from developer to web?
No,
Wow.
That's the most amazing thing.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. And then so end users, once the author has configured it, right, can just go into library and easily update, delete data, whatever they might want, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's another big thing because you will have them available in library. So whenever you're consuming that data, you can easily go and edit that transaction. As you see on that demo video, you can start adding the data that you want. So imagine that you're editing that transaction, and if you are actually updating, you will get a highlight of the fields that you just updated so that you can double check if you actually want to put that transaction in place or not. And then the other cool thing is that we have this feature also on mobile. So if you're out there on the field and you have your iPad with you, you can easily write back to the database, just like enabling a lot of functionality in there.
Yeah, so I think, thanks, Erika, for walking us through that. I think this opens the door to so many, applications that are like super valuable for our customers. And when it comes to transactions, or really any functionality that we introduce in Dossier, very often they end up being used to create applications, right? Applications that then get embedded, for example, in other larger applications from our customers. And so this is one area that we are very, very excited about because we are very heavily investing in creating an applications framework. And many of you guys might be familiar already with that. We have an applications feature, which is the ability to configure library, the experience in library, whether it is by turning on and off features in the toolbar with no code needed. You can configure a dossier to be the home screen or use the out-of-the-box interface of library. But then it opens the possibility as well to configure every part of experience. And not only you can configure the default library, but then you can create additional applications. And then that opens the door to providing customized experience for different groups of users. And that's particularly useful for our OEM customers who have customers of their own tenants. And so this is an area that we are very excited about. We have a video to show you about that, which maybe we can jump into that in a second. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about a few features that are coming here in Update 6.
Before you jump there, I just
Sure.
wanted to say and highlight the ability to turn on and off functionality without having to code anything. Back there, you had to do so many things to customize experience. You have to actually code a lot of things and just go into coding, make sure that you were rebuilding the whole application. It was so complicated. And now with this feature, it's amazing all the things that you can do with like just turning on or off.
Yeah, it's I think that's the idea, to basically provide interfaces that allow, customers to just configure instead of configure the experience. And it seems like we have Holly back, but yeah, Ananya, please.
And Alex, can you also talk about the upgrades? Like, how does it, because earlier I know like when people had to customize their web for applications, like upgrades were really pain. And that changes with applications, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a beautiful thing that the product is so customizable, but sometimes that comes at a risk, right? You want to be able to adopt the latest version, the latest security improvements, especially when we talk about cloud deployments. And so you definitely don't want to make sure that any customization you have doesn't get in the way of having agility, right, when it comes to adopting the latest in security and in functionality. And of course, we're not saying that customizations are completely wrong. But I think what we want to do with applications is that for all those workflows that are just no-brainers, right, and very common scenarios such as the need to white label the product, the need to control the user experience, the need to control the look and feel. We want to provide no-code solutions, easy solutions for that are maintainable and that don't give you any problem in the upgrades. So.
Yeah, and we did get one question in the comments as I was having a computer malfunction, but does it have more capabilities than RSD when you're using dossiers, for the application? I don't know what's about that, but.
Sorry, will you repeat that one?
So, like, do the dossiers and applications that we have today, does it have more capabilities than RSD did? Like, what is your take on that?
Yeah, so dossiers, we're quickly, and especially with transactions, we're quickly, closing the gap that we had in terms of functionality between dossiers and documents. And while documents still have a place, in the MicroStrategy world, we are really investing in dossiers. That's really the path forward. And as we continue to closing that gap and receiving feedback from our great customers that love to engage with us, and we love that as well, we'll continue in that path, right? And so strengthening dossier and continue to modernize and make the whole experience of application creation easier and more flexible.
Yeah, even like something as minor as pausing the transaction, that's something that we didn't have. And so we are hearing all of that amazing feedback that we get from our customers and making sure that all of those pain points are removed so that it's frictionless.
Awesome. Yeah. And then so now that you guys did talk about like the foundation of applications, you can build them right from Workstation. What did we introduce in the June release that's new for customization? I think that's Alex, you can take this one, but we do have a lot of new features.
Yes, definitely. So one that I wanted to talk to you guys about is, so now you can define color palettes at the application level. And so as you guys can see here in the video, this basically opens the door to a couple of things. One is reusability, right? We have many customers, especially OEMs, that will create an application based on dossier, but then they want to distribute that application to different tenants or different groups of users. And those might be organizations or corporations that have their own color schemes, right? Or their own color palettes. And so, you can build once, then deploy to different tenants, and they will have a unique experience as they access that application or those dossiers, that content, through their own application, right? Through their own customized experience of library and of dossier. So it's definitely a cool one, and it's a first step in many other things that we're doing, towards that goal. We're providing that customized look and feel and branded look and feel.
Got it. And then I know another one that we introduced, right, is the ability to switch between app workspaces. So can you talk a little bit about that and like the power of that, for a lot of organizations?
Yeah, so the thing here is that an application, it's also another object in the metadata. And so for most of you guys that are familiar, you can control the access to those objects in the metadata. And so applications are no different. And an administrator may choose to have, groups of users assigned to individual applications, but they might have users that also have access to multiple applications, just multiple configurations of library. And so now the interface, as you guys can see there, through the account menu, it allows the end users to quickly switch through their applications, right? Switch between an application that shows immediately a dossier, right, with the analytics content, then switch to another application that shows them a content group or groups of multiple content groups that have different dossiers categorized in a specific order. And it's just one more area of flexibility that applications is offering in Update 6.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. And the thing is, you guys just saw that user in that demo, right, jumped from the typical library infrastructure that Alex is talking about right into that store performance dossier that is set up like as an application. So dossier, again, is giving you that entire ability to create those app-like navigation workflows, which is something that was not there at the original inset or onset of the dossier.
That's right.
It looks like we're getting feedback too. A lot of people like the color palettes, Alex.
Awesome.
That they can use for 10 sub-brands. Yeah, that's awesome. And then one other thing, I know that it's a preview feature, but getting into that customization of, even logos in the future. I don't know if you want to talk about that yet or how we'll expand on that as well.
No, absolutely. Like Holly said, it is a preview feature. So to try it out in Workstation, go to the help menu, and from there you can enable preview features. And we call this the appearance editor for applications, and it has kind of like the first improvement in Update 6 that you can start using. By the way, it works perfectly, where you can just configure your own corporate logo, right, for each application, and that replaces the MicroStrategy library logo. And so it's, like I said, we're on the journey to allow you to fully customize and fully brand and white label your applications with MicroStrategy. So excited about what's coming as well.
I think that's amazing. And just like Alex is saying, they're starting with that logo that appears, across web, mobile, etc. But then even like white labeling it, like you're saying, they'll get into hopefully in the next few quarters, maybe. All right. So when we're talking about dossier, library apps, one thing here at MicroStrategy that we have made significant improvements to, right, is product accessibility, which is a big thing here. We don't ever really think about it as one feature or a collection of features. It's whole mission, right, that we're focused on. Can you all tell us some of the improvements that our customers will see in this release?
Yes. So accessibility is an essential requirement for every new feature that we release in library and dossier. And on top of that, accessibility is part of the product. So out of the box, you don't have to do any additional settings that need to be enabled. First of all, we have made improvements through library and dossier to ensure complete screen reader compatibility and seamless navigation using the keyboard. This includes enhanced accessibility, accessibility labels, tab orders, structural markups, and more. You will also be able to interact with the data, even if you're navigating throughout the submenus in the toolbar, or if you're consuming visualizations within a dossiers using assistive tools. Then when using a visualization that is configured with contextual linking, you can, to go from one data point to another dossier, users that are using these assistive tools now have a way to actually get to this data. You can access this functionality through the Show Data dialog, where you can opt to show contextual links within the view and click through the links that appear under the contextual link column. Now, we have different grid types, but the modern grid is full of accessibility advantages using one of the best frameworks that is out there for grid accessibility support. And this grid has built-in rows and properties that enable screen readers with all of the contextual information that is required, so that you will be able to interpret and interact with the grid in a seamless way. Now, you can also navigate through the grid using the arrow keys and get the column header information from anywhere using your screen reader shortcuts. And you can also trigger the grid right mouse click by pressing Shift F10 on the keyboard for more ways to interact with the grid. And last,
That's
How
not
many
all.
things?
and that's not all. We have
There's
a lot of
more.
functionalities for accessibility. So for users that require higher contrast when viewing screens, we have ensured that library and dossiers can still be clearly viewed when the operating system accessibility settings are turned on, even if you're on macOS or Windows. And the information visibility is maintained with all the text, highlights, disabled text, icons, and everything. And it is following the expected high contrast color in this mode.
Yeah.
I
Well
guys.
done, well done.
know we have a lot of
That
things
is
for
amazing.
accessibility.
Yes.
No, but it's awesome, right? We have a lot of customers that have been waiting for all of those things, especially in the federal space where it is needed, like it's not an option. It's really exciting. So great work. I think the technology team has done a lot of work in the past few quarters to get all this as a collective unit out the door. So awesome job. And then speaking of library, all the accessibility enhancements are for dossier library, the modern stack that we do have. We have one interesting feature for library Android. So Android users, get ready. It's related to barcode scanning. And Alex, do you want to tell us a little bit more about that feature?
Yeah, that's why I said I also like Android, definitely. Yeah, so this is part of our journey of continuing to strengthen and to enhance library. Now you can scan, any QR code or barcode if you need to analyze any items like products in your store on the go. No clicks needed. You just point at it, and you get, if you have a prompted dossier, you get the dossier filter to show you that product. And you can also configure the dossier to have to accept multiple entries, right? If you want to scan multiple products. So you can do that as well. Scan one, then the next one, click on run, and then you get all the results as well. So yeah, pretty neat feature, very seamless, and hopefully very, very useful.
Yeah, and I think that's an amazing one because it's not the feature that we're typically, being talking about, or it's not really being the splash feature, but it's such a one that has tremendous value, right? For a lot of people that are working in a warehouse or on the floor. So Android users, you can now scan those barcodes. And then Ananya, you're here. I know you're ready to tell us about what's exciting with data. So what is new in terms of data gateways? And then I'll also pick your brain about a few new features.
Apart from keeping our drivers up to date for security and stability, I'm really excited that in Q2 we added support for data file formats for all Cloud Object Connectors. And this helps customers take advantage of the efficient ETL pipelines that they're building in the cloud. For S3 users, you get a little bit more with support for cross-account bucket sharings in the S3 connector.
Awesome. And then I know you just gave us the rundown of data gateways, but you have also been working on a feature, time-based reporting. It's currently a preview feature, but do you want us to tell us a little bit about that, how it works on web? It came out, right, for iOS as a preview feature in June. So how does that work? What is that?
Yeah, just to give a little bit more background, so this is the first time MicroStrategy is really giving a special treatment to the time dimension in the platform. And our customers before that, they had to jump through a lot of hoops, do a lot of things themselves. For example, if they had to support end users, analyze the data from their time zone perspective in the way that they're experiencing time, customers used to manage multiple projects or duplicate the data. But now, with our initiative to support the time-based reporting, we are providing an end-to-end solution that there is no hoops to jump through for end users, architects, or administrators. Mm-hmm. All we need to do is for architects to make a decision and administrators to decide which end users will have access to what options for the time zone reporting, and it just works. So users have ability to change their default at the user level or at the dossier level. Now, the feature went preview in Q1, and now in Q2, as you mentioned, Holly, we are providing support for iOS. But this is not all. In 2022, this year, we are going to add support for calendar as well as language-based formatting to make sure that the end users are really able to understand the data in the way that they are experiencing time, sort of to make local decisions. And that we are not going to be done in 2022. There's going to be more in 2023. So stay tuned.
I love that feature, Ananya. It's amazing.
And it doesn't stop talking about it.
It's a good one. It's awesome. I think it's going to be very useful. People have already started using it. Again, with those preview features that we've been mentioning, you can enable them from Workstation and start just using them if you are a customer. So make sure to take advantage of that, right? Give us feedback. We're seeing a lot of feedback here in the chat. Keep it coming. We love it. But now we're moving on to a topic that's a little bit related that can be done in Workstation, but all things Workstation, Erika. We know we all love it. But can you tell us what our engineering teams have been doing, this quarter and what we've released? There's a lot, so I know you're going to have a big answer again.
I apologize in advance because I'm going to be talking a lot. So first, we have drill maps, and this is really, really helpful whenever you want to drill and get more details about the data. So imagine that you're in a report, and that report has year level information, and then you have cost as a metric. You see that cost is really, really high. So you want to dig deeper into the details about, like, maybe it's specific to a quarter. So you drill down to the quarter level, and then you can identify the culprit of that specific high cost. You can configure them through this drill map editor that we're looking at the screen, and it's very, very easy to configure. You will have the capability of drilling up, down, across. You can use a drill map or a template. So you can specify those settings. Whenever you're clicking throughout the editor, you will see different properties so that you can specify those specific settings for the object that you're selecting. So it's a great feature and functionality that we have as part of this new release. Now, moving on. The next feature that I have for you guys is custom subtotals. This is very important because we know that our customers have very complex subtotals that an out-of-the-box subtotal wouldn't suffice. So with the custom subtotals, a user can specify a formula using the facts and attributes that they have on the schema. And it can be as simple as a min, max, sum, standard deviation, or as complex as train cluster. So you can choose from 13 categories, and in total you have more than 120 functions. And I really like this editor because you can actually grab the bits and pieces of that formula and specify what you want. So it splits it into the base formula, the conditions, the group by, and the transformations. So you can go really into the details of the subtotals that you want to achieve. The next one is incremental refresh report. That is very, very useful whenever you have this intelligent cube and you want to specify the settings or the functionality of how you want to refresh it. So you will have different options like insert and update. You can have insert only, delete, and so on. Now, moving into the preview features, we are releasing 2 new preview features that, as Alex mentioned, you can enable them through the help menu and then just check that preview feature functionality. And we already released the object migration in previous releases, but let me do a quick recap and refresh in case you're not familiar with that one. So now the administrator can actually migrate all the objects to a different environment through Workstation. They don't have to use another tool to do this. And it's very easy because they have this migration monitor where they can track all the packages that they have, and they have different actions where they can migrate or revert a migration. And they will see all the migrations that have been requested by someone like an architect. Now, whenever they have those packages, they can edit the packages, add objects or delete objects, add or remove dependencies, set up ACL options, and configure a lot of specific items. But that is not all. Because also the architect can start creating packages. So let's say that you created some objects and you want to migrate them. You don't have to go into another tool or another system to request this migration. You can easily create that package, request a migration, and then the administrator will receive that notification that they need to migrate that package. In case that you see that something went wrong or you want to revert that migration, you can also request to revert that package.
I really like how Workstation and this package migration package management provides so much transparency now that earlier people would sort of lose a package on somebody's personal desktop and they wouldn't know what to do because
Yeah.
Somebody went on a vacation.
Exactly. And that's why the MicroStrategy storage service is so important, because it will allow you to keep that consistency and that governability that everyone wants.
Yeah. Nothing like modern editors and modern workflows in Workstation.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's correct. So, and as part of this object migration, we're also integrating the old project merge. So you can do all of that into the object migration. Last one, I promise.
We love everything.
Last but not least is reports. Reports is coming as a preview feature in Workstation. We had one release in March, but now in this release, we're enhancing all the functionality. We're adding more things like prompting capabilities, view filters, page buy, and more. But we are also exposing reports in library. And this is great because you can take advantage of everything that we already have in place for library. So you can search for your reports, you can set them as favorite, you can add them to your groups and more. And stay tuned, because as we keep on enhancing all of those features and functionality, we will be able to provide all of this as an out-of-the-box feature. So check it out. Make sure that you let us know if you feel that it's great as we think that it is. And I know that it's a lot of features, but what can I say? Our engineering teams have been working so hard to bring you all of this functionality, and they're rocking it.
That's what I was gonna say. That it speaks to like the really hard work that the teams are doing, and I know that some of you guys are watching this, so shout out to you.
Yeah, you guys are amazing.
And it's amazing that we are releasing every month also. A lot of these
True.
capabilities are coming out every month. So
That's true.
Wait, so yeah, can you guys speak to that a little bit? So now we are doing monthly releases. Are those monthly releases a little bit different than the quarterly ones? How does that work now from a product perspective?
Should I take it? Yeah. So yeah, well, so we are releasing monthly on in Workstation and the mobile clients, right? If you're an enterprise customer that you want to adopt the latest features that are in Workstation, right, that don't have any backend iServer dependency, you can just upgrade monthly, really, and same with the mobile client. So that's a really good thing. For the purposes of upgrading the whole platform, we're still on a quarterly cadence, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there to do it monthly, I think, soon. So
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you got everything.
Super agile. I think people don't. A lot of our customers I don't even know that we do have those monthly updates right now. So make sure to check it out, especially if you have mobile users, right? Because we do have those new mobile features every month. So super exciting. All right, and then one last question for you all, and then we're going to turn it over to the audience questions because we do have a lot coming in. But what does our federal audience need to know about, MicroStrategy Cloud for Government? We have a lot of federal customers, and I don't know what you guys kind of want to speak to yet, but it is right around the corner. So
that's correct, Holly. And I mean, for this offering, security and compliance are two big pillars of the FedRAMP certification. And to get the FedRAMP certification, our new offering that is the MicroStrategy Cloud for Government is aligned with the FedRAMP requirements at the moderate impact level. And this is in accordance to the NIST and SIST baselines. And along with this, we have these new features. And like you were talking a little bit about the monthly upgrades and whatnot, but what this will allow us and why you would have to consider moving to cloud is because you will have these end-to-end automated deployments with the ability to maintain and manage the environments using Workstation. Then we have centralized monitoring, logging, and vulnerability management. We have our MCE team that is amazing, is continuously monitoring the environments so that you don't have to worry about the infrastructure and you can focus on building amazing content. We have elastic infrastructure, so you have the ability to seamlessly scale up or down. You have the ease of upgrade. So like we said, you have these monthly upgrades, but everything is going to be taken care for you. And last but not least, we have this modern architecture. So the modern microservices architecture is using the new MicroStrategy services like library and Workstation. And along with this, we are utilizing modern cloud services like the AWS Kubernetes services, coupled with Docker containers, which are used for deployment.
Awesome.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
And do you guys
That's
have anything to
modern
add?
momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. I mean, obviously that's a big win for federal customers having that FedRAMP authorization. Alex and Ananya, just speaking to, customers in general, is there anything that you think is like that main point or reason to move to the cloud? Like, why would you guys say move to the cloud?
For me, moving to cloud brings sort of agility, and if you move to MicroStrategy Managed Cloud, it brings standardization of security and operation practices that sort of our MicroStrategy sort of MCE team sort of standardizes across 140 or 300 customers. And as an administrator or as a customer, as Erika mentioned before, you can really focus on solving the business problems and delivering the value, and not so much about sort of getting sort of certified and becoming an expert in the sort of periphery management or security management of a cloud platform. And you benefit not just from your sort of your own environment's sort of special sort of considerations, but then the MicroStrategy Managed Cloud Services team looks at and handles hundreds of different customers and their security requirements. And then whenever we sort of encounter something that can benefit all of our customers, we make it a standard automatically without you having to know or learn about it. And so you're benefiting from a lot of certified and expert professionals managing and standardizing services and practices across a lot of different environments. So that you can focus and invest your time on where it matters and delivers value to your business.
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered everything, but yeah, I mean, I think it's also kind of like a good forcing factor, I think, to move, into the new stack, right, of modern tools and modern clients with Workstation and Library, because that's where the future lies. So.
And one more thing that I sort of did not mention before is that the MCE team helps customer stay up to date, especially with security patches that we have to issue. Especially in this year, we've had the Log4j early in December, and then we had a few more security updates right in May release, or like in Q1 and in Q2 we had 2 more releases on top of 11.3.5. And so a lot of our customers, they got upgraded to the latest and sort of most secure versions of their platform within 1 or 2 days, and that's the benefit that you get.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, that was awesome. All awesome answers. I think this cloud allows for a lot of our organizations to focus right on that digital innovation and not so much on the infrastructure. So awesome. Well, thank you all. Great rundown of features. We have a ton of questions, so great engagement. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. We're going to jump right in. We had a few that came in beforehand, and we have a lot in the chat. So I'll start with Tim from California. He asked us, does Library Mobile have the same features as the MicroStrategy mobile application? And that means the Red app, I suppose. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So we have the we call it the Red app internally, right? MicroStrategy Mobile, that a lot of customers have built really powerful applications, mobile applications based on documents, and now we have Library Mobile, and like I said, that's where the future lies. So we're not obviously deprecating or removing the MicroStrategy Red application, but we are in this journey of modernizing and just enhancing the library mobile workflows, so that any application that was possible to build before in the MicroStrategy mobile application will be possible, and most of it is already possible to build in MicroStrategy Library Mobile. But more of that, not only parity, but much more, enablement of modern workflows for sharing, for mobility, for performance, for things like predictive caching, for example, are there in the pipeline. So.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think applications is a big thing that has made, Library right there with the Red app, right? Being able to use that dossier as home screen. A lot of people have used documents as home screen. There's now that same level of creativity, which I think is awesome. All right. Kathy from New York asked us, and this is one that I think we should answer perfectly because I know a lot of you stress about this. Will MicroStrategy ever fully retire developer or MicroStrategy web? And it's a good question. I'll let you guys take it.
developer.
Short answer is yes.
Yes.
But you don't have to worry because we are not going to retire it yet. We want to ensure that we have the full parity between the legacy tools and the new tools. But the thing that you need to consider is that you want to move to the new stack because we're providing more functionalities. We're removing friction points from the old tools and making sure that we get into the modern ways and just like making sure that we take advantage of everything related to the modern infrastructure like cloud.
That's correct. And we want feedback. We want as much people as possible to adopt the new tools. In terms of MicroStrategy Web, of course, it's not going away, so there's no need for any anxiety. A lot of customers have investments, say like in Web Task API or just the interfaces of MicroStrategy Web, and they depend on them, for their daily activities. So we're not going to take that away until, like Erika said, we have like pretty much full parity and more, and we'll announce it with enough time. So definitely no worries.
Yeah. I'd say definitely don't stress. We'll be there to support them until you are ready for the move. And one thing I always tell our customers, and the PM team knows this too, is that if you have questions, what can Dossier do? I have so many documents or reports right now, like that would be such a heavy cost to move over to the modern stack. Reach out to your AE, reach out to us, the UX team. We love to show people like the power of it. I think sometimes it's hard to think about what you could do with the modern stack, but we're always here to help. So make sure to do that. All right, next.
We love having interactions with the customers, and you can get the fantastic guys or me in any of those roadmap sessions. So
I love it. All right, next question. This one came from the chat from Ryan. How do you transition from web to library when you have hundreds of users with My Reports folders? And those folders then obviously have content.
Yeah, I think we need to, and this is where following up on what Erika said, we want to meet with customers that have those workflows because we want to be able to design equivalent workflows in library that help our customers solve the same business problems, right? Maybe we don't do like a lift and shift, from web to library necessarily, but we do want to make sure that when we talk about functional parity, that's what we mean, right? More like parity in terms of being able to solve our customers' business needs. So just to address that question in particular, customers that have a lot of reports in, say, my or dossiers in the My Objects folder, those can be shared to the library as well. Like if they wanted to do that, kind of soft transition in the meantime, the administrator can do that, or themselves can push it, into their own library. Library has search capabilities as well, that if you are the owner of that dossier and it's in your My Reports folder, you should be able to find it as well and then add it to your library too. But yeah, it's a good point. I think it's something that we'll be looking at, perhaps to automate that, right? If maybe that's a one-click thing, that just move everything from My Reports to the library. I think that's a very fair request. So whoever has a question, please feel free to contact us. I think we'd love to dig deeper into those needs.
Yeah. And I think with My Reports too, like in library, you have someone, I think Daniel in the chat also answered this question with bookmarks, or you can use, end user content groups if they want to have their own group of content in library. There are kind of, different things that users can do that would have almost the same effect as My Reports in web. So I think that is an interesting one as well. All right. We had one come in from a Gage in Toronto. Where do you see the future of technology going? I think with regards to MicroStrategy or just the technological landscape as a whole.
I think technology is there to enable and solve business problems, right? And I think we've already seen, like with a lot of disruptions sort of around us, the need for agility, the need for staying secure, and being able to continuously stay ahead of the game, make sure that your end users are engaged fully with the content that you're delivering, the services you're delivering. I think the future is in ensuring that you're focusing on solving the business problem, letting somebody else do the heavy lifting, which is undifferentiated to your business. And being more specific, I think, it's in cloud, it's in in containers and platforms that actually help you deliver business value faster.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think I just I think the same as Ananya. I think one essential thing is cloud, because you don't have, like, the world is moving so fast that you cannot waste your time managing your infrastructure. You have to be aware of your data. You have to make decisions. So why spending time on those things where you can be actually taking action?
Yeah. And then, Alex, anything to add, or you think it's covered?
No, I mean, they cover everything, and scalability, right? That's what cloud really, one of the biggest value propositions, I think. And in this modern day and world, you can't let it to, like physical work to, like, if suddenly you need to double in size, right? Or reduce in size. That's what cloud technology allows, that elasticity and that flexibility.
I'll add a few more, or maybe one more. I think the future is also towards more empowered consumer. So sort of having richer experiences and respecting the sort of time that an end user has to invest in a platform to start seeing gains and value for their own daily work. I think that would be huge. So augmented experiences, I think, would also be huge, like say AI and ML powered experiences where the platform shows its value to the end user, and end user doesn't have to go fishing in a giant lake of data and objects.
Yeah, now you're making me think as well, because that reminds me of other things we've been thinking about, such as enabling editing and authoring capabilities directly on the consumption experience, right? Without having to go to the full-fledged editor, which it's not always what you need, right? But you still need the flexibility and the easy access to just change your data, modify it as you want, do calculations on the fly, which is another thing that Ananya is big on. And so
Make sure the platform works for you.
Right.
A lot of recommendations.
Of course. All right. Next question is from Ryan. When are the upgrade instructions going to be included with the monthly releases? What requires a metadata upgrade? It's an interesting question. I don't know who wants to take it.
Well, quarterly releases normally will require metadata upgrade, but it's something that less and less people has to worry about, right? Because now it's automatic.
So we are sort of building our platform in a way where, we know that previously customers had, when they went from one major release to another major release, they had to worry about the impact of metadata upgrade, and they had to do backward and forward testing. With MicroStrategy's quarterly release, I'd probably correct Alex a little bit. You don't need metadata upgrades. MicroStrategy is building capabilities in a way that new backend or front-end capabilities are constantly delivered to you just by the fact that you're on the new platform. Metadata upgrades are soon going to become history. We have eliminated them from a lot of workflows as a requirement for getting new functionality in your hands. And we're going to continue to drive that envelope to the point that you don't have to worry about metadata upgrade as an administrator at all.
Love that.
That's done correct, and I like that very much.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. In the chat, Michael, we see your drop-down box issue for Dossier. I'll make sure to get Alex on that ASAP. We'll look at it. Next, one other question we had is another one from Ryan. Do you know when the Freeform SQL editor will be added for reports in Workstation?
Soon. It's going to come this year.
I've seen a preview.
Yes.
It's on record.
Yeah. Everyone come back to this Connect in a few quarters. Make sure we did it. We'll work on that. A lot of good feedback here. This came in from Jason. Which version do you need to be on to start with the monthly updates? And I don't know. I don't remember which version we started that on. Does anyone? If not, we can get back to him.
2021, no?
2021, or definitely 2022. But it could be 2021.
I mean, the platform 2021.
Yeah. Platform 2021, yes.
Yeah. As long as you're on 2021, that version, you should be able to have those monthly updates, Jason. So if you're not on it, upgrade. It's awesome. And again, for those of you that don't know, that 2021, platform right now is where we are still building on top of it. So as long as you are there, you're good to go as of now. All right, but that looks like most of the questions. I always like to ask one ending question to my PM team, and that is, do you have a favorite feature of this release, or even one we didn't talk about?
Ooh.
It's okay. You can tell the truth.
One favorite feature.
You can only choose one.
To me, transactions.
Yeah, that's true. Transactions. I was trying to find another one just like to not repeat it, but I think transactions is amazing.
I would say time zone based reporting.
Well, that's but I prefer transactions.
Yeah, I mean, transactions is such a game changer. It's just really amazing. And when you see that power on mobile too, you guys have to go try it out. I think also accessibility. That would be my second. I think that's such a great mission that we've done a lot on. But thank you all so much for being here. Thanks, everyone. Thanks the PM team and your mind, because they're very busy and they took an hour to speak with us. So thank you all, and thank you all for attending. We're so thankful for the questions, and make sure to reach out to us, your account executive, or even on community. We love to take questions and get feedback, right, on what we're building. So thank you all so much, and we will be back soon next month for the fourth Connect now. But yeah, everyone have a great day. And you're in the United States, 4th of July weekend, so have fun.
Thanks, Holly.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.